Hello, hello, hello. We are doing a review of probably one of the most anticipated reissues of 2025. I'm of course talking about Amarok by Mike Oldfield, originally released in 1990. But was it controversial? I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. It's his. It was kind of his farewell to Richard Branson. He produced a 60-minute piece of music which was almost impossible to play on the radio because it's so schizophrenic in its construction. And yeah, so we got. It was just, again, it's one of my favourites of his. It's probably one of my favourite Mike Oldfield albums because it is just so weirdly wonderful. And really, it is the spiritual successor to Omadon. Forget that return to Omadon nonsense that happened. This is the spiritual successor. I've already done a first look and unboxing, and so we get to review whatever this is. Why? The question is why? Why? Now, again, I mean, this is the original from the time. As you can notice, it's missing Tom Newman's metal construction. Obviously, didn't have permission, couldn't get permission. I don't know. Lost the artwork. Again, with a lot of these reissues, the original artwork items seem to be lost, and so have to reconstruct it. But hey, come on, guys, come on! It's not even the same colour. You know, maybe they're going for like an anniversary. Is it a silver anniversary? I don't think so. But it just looks wrong. That is right. So you ask yourself why. Oh, and that's without all the that's without the spelling mistakes. There's a couple of spelling mistakes on the back. If you bought a copy, why don't you go and find them, and then you can be more disappointed with your purchase. But the question is why? Oh, why? Why? First, it's a double album. Now, the original pressing was on a single album, which you had to turn over. Again, it was. I'm going to say something controversial next. It's not controversial if you were around in 1990, but if you're a subsequent person, you may not get what I'm saying. In 1990, the maximum length, established length of a CD was 60 minutes, and Mike Oldfield filled that. That was the intention. There will be people in the comments going, "No, Darren, it's 72 minutes." Or 80 minutes if you really want to push it, right? But at that point, and there will be old farts who will agree with me and nod their head sagely, who will remember that it was always touted that 60 minutes was the maximum length of a CD, and Oldfield filled it. That was the intention of Amarok. It's all about length, not girth, length. Remember that. I always manage to slip one in, don't I? Knob gag. Yeah. But anyway, enough of my filth. And so on the album, the original album, you had to turn it over. You had to flip it. This time you have to flip it extra. If there's more flippage, and they effectively cut it into 15-minute segments. 15-minute segments. Again, why? So go from the artwork why into why. Why are we flipping it? Why are we flipping it? More flips. There are more flips than on Shrove Tuesday in the UK. That's a pancake joke for you there. So yeah, it was weird. I knew it was going to be weird. So why did you buy it? Well, so I can make this video, and so people can say to me, "Darren, why haven't you bought the new Mike Oldfield one?" And the sun has gone in. And the lighting has changed, and now it looks like it's night time. Now I could get up and I could open the curtain. I had to shut the curtain because it was too sunny on this fine November day. Now it looks like it's night time. I'm not. Just what can you do? What can you do? So you've got that. So okay, you turn it over. You get used to turning it over. It's not as bad as the Lamb reissue, which is on 4 discs, but you still have to turn it over. Now, I wouldn't have minded if this reissue was at 45 RPM, because it's a half-speed master. If we'd had it at 45 RPM, you'd have had like a higher sonic resolution. For that is the established reason that they do that. But we didn't. They pressed it at 33. So you go, okay, you've half-speed mastered it. You press it at 33 when you could have pressed it at 45, like we've done with Eno and Gabriel and many others. I think even Dire Straits did one with Brothers in Arms. Why didn't you do this and make it special? Make it at least worth having it as a double album. They didn't do that. Okay. So we have a piece of music that was meant to be 60 minutes long on CD, the maximum length of the CD that was the established fact in 1990. I do not want you correcting me in the comments, because you're wrong. I used to work I used to write for an Optic Media magazine. I know things. Please don't try and correct me when I'm right. It's really irritating. Anyway, so that was the established fact, and now they've divvied it up into 4 pieces, and it's not even there's no reason for it. There's really no reason for it when we know it can fit on an LP. Why? I don't get it. I don't get any of it. So we have that. We have the fact that the artwork's fussed. We have the fact that it's 35 quid. Well, it would be, because it's a double album. You're lucky it's not 45, Darren. Why? Who thought this was a good idea? There must have. Why didn't you just release it as, I don't know, 8 7-inch singles? With 5 minutes on each side, and be done with it. 6 7-inch singles, 5 minutes, 10 minutes on. You should have just done that and been really irritating about it. So who's going to buy this? Completist idiots? That's it. They've created a niche product for a niche audience. You can I should have checked this before I came on here. I imagine that you can buy Amarok on LP from eBay. I mean, I got my copy, oh god, I don't know how many years ago now, when I first started getting back into vinyl. I think I may have gotten it for about a tenner. It's going to be full of the new ones now, though. I don't want that. I want the old ones. Select second hand. Is there second hand? Is there a used condition? It's all the reissue. Just hundreds of the reissue. This was a mistake. Okay, maybe you can't get a copy of it now. I'm sure you used to be able to get a copy. I'm sure you could. Try Discogs. Oh, do we really want to go to Discogs? Look, it appears that you can't get a copy of the old version on eBay. Man. No, there isn't one single second-hand copy of the original pressing. Bloody hell, does that mean it's limited? I'm sure there used to be loads of them back in the day. Let me just go on Discogs. Talk amongst yourselves, please. But yeah, you kind of wonder why this was a thing, because I could have done it a bit better. I think, but they chose not to. Let's see, LP from Virgin. Yeah, you can get them on Discogs. for around a tenner, 13 quid, 15 quid, 20 quid. The most expensive is 35 euros if you want, right? So you can still get them for a fraction of the price of what you pay for the new pressing. So yeah, it's a question. This is one of those completely and utterly point. I knew it at the time, but I thought that maybe it might be a 45 RPM version, you know, the high res version that they do. You don't even get a download. You don't even get a download card, you know, with the full 24-bit, you know, files or whatever, 48K files that they sometimes include. So you don't even get that. Okay, what about the pressing itself? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I thought there was a bit more separation than my original pressing. It sounds very nice. I enjoyed it. Obviously, it didn't have all the crackles that my old copy had, because it's a bit old. It's a bit old. It was pre-loved. So yeah, but it is probably one of the worst and most pointless reissues in a long time. And it pains me to say that, because I'm a big Mike Oldfield fan, and what we all want, and what I want you all to say it in unison, what we all want, what the four of us that actually have a surround sound setup, we want the 5.1 edition of Amarok Release 4. Wasn't it completed? Free the 5.1 Amarok edition. So, to summarise, 35 quid gets you a very strange double album that doesn't really function. It takes away most of the function of the music because you have to keep turning it over. Oh, it's getting darker. It's gonna be midnight by the time I finish this. You get a completely futzed version of the album. The pressing itself's fine. It's just why the album sleeve again is littered with imperfections and it's got a couple of typos on there. The story is illegible because, again, I'm going to take you back to the CD edition. This is the best way. This version is the best way to hear, because back in the day, the CD came first, right? And look, see, I've got a cutting. I've got a cutting from the time about Mike Oldfield living in a tent. But look at that. See, you can actually read the little story inside because it was designed for the CD sleeve, and you could read everything inside. And then when they expanded that and put that on the LP, it became illegible. On the original one, it was illegible, and then when you put it in a new one, it's even more illegible. You cannot read the story. So again, it's they've messed that up, and they've had even more real estate to get it right, if you know what I mean, but they didn't. So you got that. Buy it at your own risk. I've told you the shortcomings of it. If you really need to hear Amarok on vinyl, go to Discogs and get a, I don't know, 15 quid copy of this. I think I got mine for a tenner, and it's all right. It's okay. Look, it's got the original. But see what I mean about it? You can't read the story because it's very, very small. And that was before I went blind. But anyway, so that's the review. That's the review. I better do the thumbnail. Maybe there should be a thumbnail. What do you reckon? We haven't done a thumbnail in ages. We'll do a great thumbnail. That should do it. Do I recommend it? Only if you're desperate. It's an oddity. It's a real odd one, and it makes no sense, especially when you know what Amarok is supposed to be and what it represents. And so, and that's it. That's the review. Thank you for watching. Please don't leave any comments about CDs and the length, or if you didn't like it, why did you buy it? Because I had to do the review. There wouldn't be any review otherwise. You're not thinking straight. You're not thinking straight. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. Or join, be a member, and give me a couple of pennies. Give me a quid every month so I can buy more utterly pointless vinyl that I can bitch about. Is that good? Are we done? Thank you. And that was the review. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing to say. By now you should know what that is. And that is, I guess this is a prog on, isn't it? Definitely, absolutely. This is a prog review. I forgot to say this is a prog review. Yeah, prog on.